Hello loves, my name is Jessica Diamond and welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than other videos I do here. Of course, it's still going to remain beauty and makeup centered, but I want to do more videos, more me kind of videos, different topics, chit chats, experiences, things like that, and I'm going to start doing that right now. Today I am sharing with you my top 5 New York experiences. I got back from New York a week ago. Can't believe it's been a week. Time is just going zip, zip, zip way too fast. This was my first time being in New York and I felt absolutely in love. And I just feel more need to talk about it. And I woke up in a really good mood today, so I really wanted to film. I just had the best freaking time in New York. I loved everything we did there. I felt like it was such a great first trip. We did everything we possibly could. But these 5 things just really kind of found a special place in my heart, and I would love to share them with you just in case you have been to New York or want to go. I just kind of thought maybe this would be a good video to share my experiences with you. I have cat hair on my lip. So number 5 is the food. We went to so many different food places and quite a bit stood out to me. We went to this amazing restaurant called Notte. I think that's what it's called. They had such amazing pasta. We had a cookie dough cannoli, which was really good. We were told that the one thing you have to try in New York are the cannolis. And that was the only place we could really find cannolis. I think they're mostly served as desserts in like pizza and pasta, cuisine, whatever, restaurants. We also went to this place called Cookie Dough Confections, which you might have seen the insider video that has made its way through Facebook. Basically, it's cookie dough served as ice cream, but it's not ice cream. It's raw, completely safe, edible cookie dough served in like ice cream cones. You can get different toppings on it. It was so amazing, and we lucked out because we only had to wait 20 minutes. Usually they have an hour to 4-hour waiting period. We went there kind of around 1 or 2 o'clock, I think. And we only had to wait 20 minutes, and it was worth it. So good, and apparently they have a website and they ship nationally. That's a lot for shipping, but during, you know, those period months, might be placing an order. We also went to Lottery, which I love macarons. Macaroons, whatever they are my favorite little treats, and I don't get them like that often at all. My favorite ones are from Kayla's Cakes in downtown Disney, but Lottery is certainly tied for first place. They lasted, well, a little bit less than a week, but I refrigerated them and they were still so soft and chewy. They didn't hurt or anything. They were just the best macaroons I've ever had. Of course, we also had thin crust pizza, and I think that's the type of pizza New York is known for. Like Chicago is known for thick crust and deep fried. I certainly prefer the thin crust. It was just so good. Definitely kind of like a guilt-free eating type of pizza. And of course I have to mention the cart food. We found quite a few like safe carts to eat at, and they were great for like snacking foods. I had some chicken kebab on pita bread. I had some lamb and pita bread, soft pretzels, hot dogs. So good. Didn't get food poisoning, so that's a plus there. So number 4 are the television location spots that we found that we knew from TV shows, obviously. We went to 90 Bedford Street, and that is the exterior of Rachel and Monica's apartment building from Friends, which cute ass neighborhood. Oh my god, I fell in love with Greenwich Village and Chelsea, mostly Greenwich Village. I just fell in love with so much. Even though it's kind of silly, yeah, we went to see the exterior because we're such huge Friends fan, especially me. Friends has such a special place in my heart. Love it so much. And seeing the building, it was, I don't know, it was just a great thing to see. I don't know. In Central Park, we also saw the Bow Bridge, which is featured in a whole bunch of things, same as the Gaspo Bridge. But the Bow Bridge, sorry if I'm saying it wrong, we know it mostly from the Doctor Who episode Angels Take Manhattan in the end of the episode with Amy and the 11th Doctor. So that was really cool to see. I want to call it original Tiffany's building, but anyways, it's the Tiffany's on 5th Avenue that they used in Breakfast at Tiffany's, one of my favorite movies. Just seeing things like that, I don't know, it's just, there's a hair floating about. Just seeing things like that, I don't know. I mean, I'm a movie major, okay? I have a degree in screenwriting, so like seeing movie and television film spots are just always exciting for me. Meg! We're also Project Runway fans, so we had to make a stop in Mood. Also because my sister does these amazing paintings with incorporating fabric into them, and my mom, she's a sewer. So we had to go to Mood and we saw Swatch, which is the dog from Project Runway, and he's just as you see him on TV, a snorer. The friendliest, cutest dog, so that was something special to see as well. Cat hair flying about. Number 3 is the Empire State Building. We went to the 80th and the 86th floor of the Empire State Building, and basically that building is just filled with offices, but as a tourist you can go there to go up to the 80th, 86th, or 102nd floor to see New York City, just the whole skyline. And we were blessed to have gone on a very clear, beautiful day so we could see Statue of Liberty way out there. Going up there and just seeing all the buildings and skyscrapers and skyline. Seeing the skyscrapers and the skyline just made me fall even more in love with New York. Seeing all the people down on the streets and the cabs and just seeing everything from up above, being kind of out of the hustle of the city and seeing the beauty of it, seeing the architecture. I can't explain it. It was something really beautiful and in awe to me to just see the city from a different perspective, and actually like being taller than the skyscrapers was pretty amazing. My cat is like freaking out right now. Number 2 is Central Park. I fell in love with Central Park so much. There was just something about the beauty of the nature in the foreground of the skyscrapers and the hustle and bustle of the city, and Central Park was just so clean and it was in bloom. It was something just really peaceful that felt like an escape from the city life. Also, we on a different day we went back to Central Park to do a horse ride carriage around the park, which felt something straight out of a movie. I mean, you see that in movies all the time, and it also took me back. Like, I felt like I was in Ireland again, because the only and last time I did a horse ride carriage was when I went to Ireland for the first time. It was just so peaceful to go around and see all, again, the people. I love people watching if you haven't caught on. And the blossoms, and I don't know, there was just something so like romantic and magical about it until I got off of the, you know, the carriage, and then we were feeding Hudson the horse, and the horse kind of hit his head into mine, and I stepped into a big puddle, and then he slobbered a whole bunch of carrots down my jacket, but at least we got a great picture out of it. Okay, so just a couple honorable mentions before I reveal my number 1 New York experience. Statue of Liberty I loved, and I wasn't disappointed. I feel like so many people are going to kill me for this, but I thought Statue of Liberty was going to be bigger. Like, she was big, but I thought more massive, bigger, and I don't know. I wasn't disappointed, but I thought she was just bigger, like perceived in the movies and everything. And another honorable mention goes to the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. That was amazing to see, but also really heartbreaking and somber. I was 11 years old when the planes crashed into the towers. Not crashed, but went into the towers. And I would just recommend, if you're my age, 27, I had to go check out the museum, because maybe you didn't understand when it all happened, but you grew up knowing the anniversary and having seen it happen but not knowing what it meant. Going to the museum put everything in a different kind of perspective for me. It was one of the hardest things to go through, to see all of that. It sounds so petty or whatever now, but I'm so glad I went through. One of the hardest things going to the museum was that they have these rooms, and it's basically a timeline. It's minute by minute, even second by second, of the planes going into the towers, and it takes you through every single second, minute of what was happening. The 2 planes in the towers, and then the timeline also showed the plane going to the Pentagon, and it also showed the 4th plane going into the field in Pennsylvania. And it breaks down like the during, and then the before, and then the after. We spent about 3 to 4 hours in that museum. I didn't want to go originally for selfish reasons, basically, but I'm so happy I did, and I just have just a new respect for people who go through tragedies like this, and just seeing the humanity come out in these tragedies is something that was inspiring to see. And I think the museum did a very good job on trying to make it a positive message in a way, to see how to like prevent from this happening again. I don't know, it's really hard to put into words. It's really something you truly experience mentally and emotionally, like on the inside. It's very hard to explain it, but I'd recommend going there for sure. If you're old enough, I would not recommend kids going there, but it is very important for kids to know a piece of history. Number 1, Broadway. We planned, or my sister and my mom planned, for us to go see Anastasia. This was my graduation present. I got my bachelor's degree in screenwriting, and New York is a place that I've just always wanted to go to, so they made it happen. I'm incredibly blessed and lucky for it to have happened. We saw Anastasia. The 1997 animated feature is my favorite animated feature that's not Disney, and I don't have many of those at all. And it's just one of my favorite movies ever. Now, the play is different from the feature, but in the best possible way. So the stage production, they took out Rasputin and Bartok, and they made it, well, focus on Anastasia, of course, and they brought in the villain named Gleb, and spoiler alert, I really liked his story and conflict. So basically, Gleb's dad is the one who killed Anastasia's family and kind of made her have amnesia and such. He faces the struggle between himself and his dad. Like, his dad is dead, I presume. He's just so conflicted between doing what he wants to do versus what Russia wants him to do when it comes to finding this last Romanov. Just overall, oh my god, the production amazing, the costumes stunning, the acting superb. The girl, Christy, who plays Anastasia, she was so cute and such an amazing vocal pipe singer, whatever, coming from this itty bitty frame. Dimitri was so cute, and Vlad was kind of a scene stealer for me. They did a lot of things right in this play, and I was just so blown away by the story, the acting, the musical numbers. And if you're someone who is kind of like, oh, they took away Rasputin and Bartok like the best part of the animated feature, and yeah, they are. And I was kind of so unsure when I heard about that first, but seeing the show, they did everything right for it being a Broadway production stage show, in taking elements from the 1997 feature and the historical elements and beautifully blending them together. Now, what I really loved is, yeah, they cut out some of the songs from the 1997 feature, like Dark of the Night, but you can hear the score in Gleb's, the new villain's main song, and they have other little things like that too, so it doesn't feel like they totally took things away from the show, but they made it their own. They have some of my favorite musical numbers still in there from the animated feature. They added some new lyrics, and it just felt right. The whole thing just felt so right and catchy, and I can't wait to get the soundtrack, and I hope they make a movie of this, or they record the Broadway stage production and put it on DVD or something. I was literally sitting just like so in love the entire time watching this play. After seeing that play, we felt like, if possible, we need to see another Broadway show, because as far as we know, this is going to be the only time we're ever in New York ever seen a Broadway show, so let's make it count. We got tickets for Chicago. Now, Chicago was great, but I didn't fall in love with it like I did with Anastasia, and that could possibly be because I love the movie Chicago with Catherine Zeta-Jones, Renee Zellweger, and Richard Gere. I love that movie so much. That movie made me love musicals. I hated musicals before that movie, and that movie kind of just changed a lot of my opinions about musical and movies in general. So that movie has a special place in my heart. Now, the stage production, I mean, it's been going on for 20 years. It has won so many Tonys, and it is amazing, but it's very simple, and there's nothing wrong with that. And by simple, I mean, they don't have the big, flashy costumes and production like Anastasia does. So it's not really aesthetically beautiful like Anastasia is. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. One interesting thing I found in Chicago was that they have the orchestra on stage, and I thought that was a good move because the music plays such a big role in the plot, in the story, in the time period the story takes place in. I thought it was a really good production, but I feel like if you didn't see the movie, there's going to be some plot holes in Chicago. That's kind of how I felt, and just because it's a stage production. Now, the musical numbers were amazing. They were good. I actually fell in love with Razzle Dazzle on stage, and Razzle Dazzle is not my favorite in the movie. But they did a lot of good things in Chicago, but for some reason, I didn't fall in love with it. But it was still such an amazing thing to see. But Anastasia really did steal my heart, and Chicago just kind of claimed a teeny tiny piece of it. I'm just going to say, okay, when we saw Anastasia, there was a standing ovation. When we saw Chicago, there was no standing ovation, and I just found that really strange, and for it to speak for itself. I don't know. Alright, love, so those are my top 5 New York experiences. If you've been to New York, what do you love about New York? What have you done? And if you want to go to New York, what would you like to do if you ever get there? Please let me know down in the comments below. And again, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. I'd honestly just really appreciate it because I just want your guys' feedback. The thumbs up for me is feedback in a sense. Just to know what type of videos to keep doing. If you have any suggestions of what you would like to see me do other than makeup videos, I'll still of course take makeup video suggestions, but anything, just let me know down below. I'd really appreciate it. I think I said appreciate really weird. Thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me, and remember to love others, but first and foremost, always love yourself because you are beautiful no matter what anyone else ever says.